Well, hello everyone. Jane here from Your Way Weight Loss, and we're actually pretty much like I don't want to say that we're on par with the timing of things. I actually think that we're like behind, but I think at the end of the day, this is going to be fun for the people. It's Tuesday night, and you are listening to this on Thursday morning. So stay fresh. Doesn't become fresher than this. This is the closest we've ever been to a podcast being released to when we recorded it. So everything you're hearing today is exactly what we're going through in this very moment. It's like you're in our lives.
We're so badass.
We're so badass.
Really risking it.
Are you texting Tosh right now?
I am posting the cute picture of us on Instagram of our podcast.
That's so fun. I was asking that because I basically was trying to let the people know that we're going to be on the radio next Tuesday. Everyone, it's a big deal.
Oh, yes.
K94.5. Do you think my mom's going to miss it this time and go take a shower?
God. Did you tell her?
I did not tell her, and I don't even know if I'm going to like make it a thing. Like the last time it was our first time. You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, my daughter's on the radio. No big deal. I feel like I just need to tell them when we make the Kelly Clarkson show. Will they watch it? Will they miss it? Friggin' PVR that shit.
Do they have a PVR?
I do.
You do?
I do. I still have. Is that cable? Is that what you call that?
Well, they're two different things, but do you PVR things?
Okay. My life used to be just a full-on PVR, Alicia.
I remember that. I remember that.
Like it was a serious business.
Yeah.
I like wanted to become a PVR coach. You know what I mean? It was that good. But yeah, no. I used to PVR everything, like to the point where my PVR is like there's too many things that are being PVR'd right now. We're gonna have to start deleting.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden got sidetracked by freaking Crave and Netflix and whatever. Like it was amazing. So it's done. I haven't watched any of my PVR shows. I'm behind. Like I no longer watch that type of TV.
I think it's that the times have changed.
The times have changed.
Like PVR was kind of a thing when streaming was like just starting, you know what I mean? And there was like maybe only Netflix. Now there's just like so many. It's just people don't want to wait to have to watch their shows on the cable.
Absolutely. And I understand it. And also how ridiculous. I remember my dad saying this to me, that they were waiting for, we were watching Grey's Anatomy. My parents watched Grey's Anatomy and Schitt's Creek. And at that moment, at that time, I was PVRing everything. Every Thursday it would come out. I would watch it, whatever. And I remember my dad saying, we're just going to wait until it goes on Netflix. And I'm like, why? Like just PVR it and you can watch it right now. It's like, I just like don't want to even fast forward the commercials. And I was like, you're ridiculous. Like who friggin' cares, right? Now I'm that person. I don't even want to forward the commercials. I don't want to see any commercials. The commercial business is probably not doing well right now.
I know. I would have to agree with you. The whole system is like completely different.
It's completely different. And like I was thinking about, I was reading something or listening to something, and it was like basically now to be a celebrity, like before being a celebrity was you're on TV, you're in movies, like that's how you're a celebrity. That's how you're like a big time. And now it's like you're a celebrity just by TikTok. Like you're a TikToker. You're a celebrity. Like you're not in, it's not necessarily only people in movies that are considered celebrities. I'm not sure if celebrity is the word I'm looking for. What else could we call these people?
Famous.
That's the word I wanted. I just yelled that. Woke up all the children. Famous. Yeah. So like you can be famous just because you did TikToks. You know what I mean?
100%. And they're even like, these TikTokers are even like at awards shows and like they're big deals now.
Do you see Anna Existar, whatever how you say?
I haven't seen her in a long time, but tell me.
She's still there, Alicia. She's still there. She's like, she is, you know, and she's like a smart lady. You know what I mean? Like she was at university, like before this all happened to her, she was in photography in like this probably fancy university in somewhere in America where the fancy people are.
Definitely fancy.
Making movies and whatnot, TikToks too. 1.4 million followers on TikTok. No, sorry, on Instagram, which is even like that's hard shit. And she has a blue tick. Like she is someone.
That
You know
is
what
a
I
big
mean?
deal.
That is a big deal. She is traveling the world. She's also going out with this person that I do not know. And I'm ashamed of saying that. I don't know who he is.
He's
But
also a TikToker, I think.
is he? I think he's like a
Yes.
host of some sort, or he's just a TikToker.
No, I am pretty sure that he is a TikToker and they met because they were famous TikTokers.
What is this world we live in? Anyways, people were really happy that they were together. Like people get
Mhm.
invested, huh? You know what I
And
mean?
and that's why I think people are so invested in TikTok because he was also TikTok famous. And then they were like kind of like secret when they were first starting to date and they just showed like
Yes.
glimpses of each other and people were guessing who it was.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's a different world from PVR and Saturday morning commercials when we were kids watching cartoons.
Oh my
And you know what
God.
I mean? Like,
I think it was Ricky Gervais who was hosting the Oscars, and he comes out and he's like, "What are we even doing here? Like, what have we even accomplished? Like, why am I giving you an award? Like, you know how he's friggin' hilarious. Like, he says things like I watch past awards after the thing with Will Smith, whatever. Like, I got into like this mode of obsessing over these shows. Like, it was very odd. Anyways, he was like, we should just give the award to Netflix. You win everything. You win. Like, you know, people were laughing because it's so true. Like at the end of the day, it was Netflix became their competition, you know?
yeah. No, I do find Ricky Gervais really funny. He is like sometimes on like the line though, and you're like, but it's
No.
funny. But
Oh, he is beyond the line, Alicia. Sometimes I'm like, did he just OMG? And like silence because it's so bad. And everyone's just looking at each other. He just keeps going.
yeah.
He would be like, I don't care. He would say that in the mic. I don't care. Yeah, it's bad. I don't care. And I was like, oh my God, this human. Oh man, it's next level. Anyways, I started following him. He basically just puts pictures of his cats. It's him and his cat. And I love it. I love it.
Oh,
Like
he's a
he
funny
has
British man. Isn't he British? He's British.
he is British, and he like fills like massive theaters. It's not the right word, but amphithéâtre or whatever. With his comedy, like he's like big time in Britain. Did I say that properly?
You did. I'm so proud.
I'm so worried every time I speak.
Oh, it's
Um,
so fun though.
so yeah, like think about that. Like someone like Ricky Gervais has 3.5 million. Like he's a big deal. Like you host the Oscars, like you're a big deal. And like you have Anna X Star, who's just a TikTok person who really is hilarious and makes amazing TikToks, has 1.4 million. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's true.
it is actually very difficult to have followers on Instagram, everyone, just in case you wanted to know. Why is it so difficult?
I can't even have this conversation.
Randomly, right under Ricky Gervais is Ricky Martin.
Like
And
the singer?
like Ricky Martin. Like Ricky Martin from our time.
He had a famous
What
song. What was the song? What was the song?
wait. Oh my God, people are it's oh yeah.
Loca.
I'm I am so proud of you right now. I am so proud of you right now. For one, that you even know who Ricky Martin is and that you got to sing that song for me before I can't. Um, where you are living la vida loca. Yes, absolutely. Come on. Okay. He has almost 17 million followers. How is that possible? Ricky Martin has not done anything since 1997. Maybe he has. He did post just earlier, so he's posting.
So how we got on this, guys, is that we're going to be on the radio.
On the local radio 94.5. Don't you miss it. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh my gosh.
No,
But
it's always fun to do stuff like that, though. I really enjoy it.
Oh my God, yes. So obviously, okay, so we just had an article come out in the paper about our documentary. And so since then we actually got someone, wanting us on their podcast, and then we are on the radio, and then another journalist, did you see?
I did. Who was that?
Well, I kind of creeped a little bit, and it's a journalist for Radio Canada. So I was like, okay,
Woo!
fun, super fun.
Est-ce que
So
je peux parler en français?
please come and do this interview with me en français. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's getting people's attention that, the article is getting people's attention on us eating Tim Hortons for a whole month. It definitely got people like talking, which is fun.
So, do you have the article in front of you by any chance? No?
I can go get it, no
No,
problem.
it's fine. I just wanted to we didn't really get a chance to, like, debrief on it, and I don't know if you saw I don't even know which platform I saw this message come in on. I just, like, saw it come in on my phone, and people, I was just like, "Oh, yeah, it's great," but people said not that they were upset, but they said, "Why did they just say New Brunswick Moms? Why didn't
Yeah,
they
I
say?"
didn't even think of that actually, and then I'm like, right, they're right.
I didn't either, but then I'm like, "You're right." Like, in this situation, we're
Okay, guys, so we were
moms.
right. Okay, so you froze a little bit. Just go. It was literally for like 3 seconds. I didn't know for how long. So you were saying for this particular thing, like it's not that we're just regular moms. That's what you were saying, right? Like they should have also talked about like that we own a business and that I don't know. It's very interesting. So this is what it said, everyone. New Brunswick moms star in documentary on month-long Tim Hortons diet. That's what that was like the article title. And obviously there's like a little part of me like that when I read it, I was like, oh, why did we say Tim Hortons diet? Like that was never that I would have never said that language while speaking to her. So that's why like it's like I don't know, let's debrief. Please know that when you get interviewed for the paper, they talk to you, they let you talk, and then they kind of go for it and they write a story, and then you don't read it before it's posted. Like this is the story. What was
I'm
happening?
I'm just laughing because I'm thinking of today when we told this story on Instagram and then you used the wrong word. What did you say instead of proofread?
Brief rude. Like I but then Instagram caption was like pre-fruit. But I missed proofread pre-fruit is what happened. Oh my goodness. And like why it's so funny is because this is a thing that I do often. Is I switch some words around and just like make it like, you know what I mean? Or like one letter, or like the way it sounds. That was funny. If you guys missed our stories from Tuesday from today, I have not laughed this real, like it was real. There was nothing fake about it. It was real. Oh
Also,
my god.
this all happened after she went in and got the paper and she like does this dance and she comes out with the paper and we look through the paper. We look through the whole
And
paper and there's nothing. And then
and
I
I'm
look at the
not
title
there.
and I'm like, that's not the paper we're in.
Like, why is there two paper? Like, put it all in one. You really have Telegraph Journal fans and Times and Transcript fans, and I think they're like from the same company. Like, I don't understand. Anyways, oh my goodness. And then my mom. So
Oh,
this is what happened. My mom watched a part of the story, but she doesn't listen, right? So
okay.
she saw the part where I was like, "Oh, we're not in the paper." She didn't get the point that I like had picked up the wrong paper. So she says this to my dad. They weren't in the paper today. Okay. So my dad calls me and he says, "Did you get the paper today?" And I'm like, "Yep, I got one of the papers." Thinking he's reaching out because he wants to see the article. He goes, "Okay, so can I use the paper because I'm doing something in my garage and I'm really struggling to find paper to cover up." Okay. And I'm like, "Sure, no problem. Like, no problem. Sure, come and get it. And so he arrives to come and get the paper. And I'm like, "Oh, did you want to also see my article?" And then he's like, "I thought you weren't in the paper. I thought you had bought the paper and you were stuck with paper." And then I was like, "Why did you think I wasn't in it?" And my mom's like, "Oh, I saw that thing." Wow. Yeah. So that was funny.
That is really funny,
Yeah,
actually.
that's also another story. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they're like, "Oh, really cool picture, good for you." But yeah, okay, let's go back to the article. So, guys,
Okay.
right now, as you're listening to this, 1 week away, like the premiere is 1 week away. So, after we're done talking about the article, I want to talk about the documentary itself because I've seen it from A to B, and so I like want to like really get people hyped up on it. But the title of this article, New Brunswick Moms Star in Documentary on Month-Long Tim Hortons Diet. I didn't think anything about moms because I'm like, yeah, I'm a mom. Like, I didn't really think about it at all. The Tim Hortons diet, I'm like, oh, but at the end of the day, it's a good title. Like, it's a good title to get people to want to keep reading, you know? And like a title like two entrepreneurs trying to change food labeling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not the same. And we get that. In social media, it needs to be sexy. And you need to capture people's attention with your title. So, I mean, I give her points for that. Like, I think she did good.
And we realized this when we were creating the documentary that sometimes the language we wanted to use that made sense to us and described our message, people didn't understand what those words were in relation to weight loss. Like people
Yeah.
just don't understand why we're even talking about shame and drama and language and mindset, and they don't even understand why that's a part of the conversation. So we realized this, that we almost had to use words we don't or that aren't our favorite so that
Yeah.
people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, like it was good. Like she clearly got people's attention with what she wrote. I really like the part where she says, no matter what the restrictions are, you want to have access to all food. Um, you don't feel hungry, but you do feel deprived of life experiences when you are stuck on a menu. I really like that part. I'm really proud of my words there. I think that was, she was like, said Cormier. But yeah, that sentence, I'm like, yes. But there are things that were said that I'm like, oh, that's not language I would use or that I would, but we're also so picky with language. Like, it's like so important to us. Like, the editing of this documentary was insane in terms of choosing the right sentence at the right time with the right tone, with the like, Paul would be like, that sentence is really good. I'm like, yeah, but it can be offensive to whatever. So like, and it's not how we want it to sound, but it sounded like that. And I don't want that in the documentary. Like, it's so feel good. Every sentence was chosen for a reason at that particular time. And there was a lot, no, like on those couches, we filmed 45 minutes of us talking, and the segment is 3 minutes, so I had to cut a lot of what we were saying, but really like be nitty gritty about like what we want to keep. And at the end of the day, this documentary could have literally been 4 hours of different messages. But we really narrowed it down to relationship with food and making people feel like they don't have, like, it shouldn't be a mountain in front of them. We need to meet people where they're at. Like, it's good. Like, we really narrowed it down to better relationship with food and healing people's diet trauma, basically, like their thoughts, their beliefs. I think that's what this is going to do. But like you said, people are so not used to even talking about relationship with food. Like, they don't even know what we're talking about before we bring it up, and they're like, oh shit, I do have a relationship with food, and that might be one of the things I should be working on if I do want to lose weight. So we're bringing it up. I think it's gonna see. This is the thing. An article or words like Tim Hortons diet gets people to maybe press play, and then how funny we are, Alicia, is what's going to get them to listen and to really react, or to be connected to us. Like, the documentary is hilarious. Like, it is funny. And that was really important to me in like our conversation with Paul. Like, it was like, I'm like, these are the three like adjectives I want it to be entertaining. They're not bored. Adjectives.
Objectives.
Or like adjectives that describe the documentary. Comme fun are those adjectives. Des adjectives. See, en français, adjectif qualificatif, that is what they would be called. So in English, I'm like, is that an adjective?
I think an adjective is a describing word.
Okay. See, there we go. Let's go with that. Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay. So I want it to be funny. So I said, this is what I said. People need to like us and be like, oh my God. Like it needs to like, we pushed boundaries with like our conversation about poop and whatever. Like they're like, oh my God, like we were real. We were J&A. We were J&A in this podcast, in this documentary. And that's why it's so important for us. Like when we chose Paul, there's a reason we chose Paul because we can talk about liquid shits in front of Paul and like we're not shy about it and it doesn't matter. Whereas like if it would have been like a team that we wouldn't have known, sometimes we would have acted differently. And we realized that when it's scripted or when like this is not a scripted documentary. No, what am I saying? Documentary. Sometimes I struggle. I know what the word is, but it's like I don't know like the right, adjective, adjective,
Where to put
Canada.
the emphasis on
Yeah,
the
Canada. You know what I mean? Okay. So, so I said I want it to be so entertaining that they're like that passed, like that was fast, like is it already over type thing. I want more. I want it to be funny and I want it to be like clear. Like it needs to be clear. Like we need to have some sort of like they need to like learn something. And I think that we rocked it. And honestly, I watched it twice already and it is an hour and a half. And it's going to be 90 minutes long and it's 90 minutes of pure gold. Like it's like we literally could have made it 4 hours because we definitely had enough content and talking for it. But we narrowed it down so that we can really give you the like good stuff. You know what I mean? And 90 minutes is like a movie.
Yeah. I want to share with these guys that I actually have had pretty much nothing to do with the editing process. Jose does a lot of the like dreaming part
Yeah.
and I do a lot of the day-to-day part. So she's like, nah, I'm going to do this. And this was like, and this was your baby. Like you had that vision. Like I didn't have the same, like you were just like, and then I want this piece and this scene. And you were just like incredible.
If I could have if I had the editing skills in terms of like doing it on the computer, I would have not done it myself, but I would have done the majority of it. Like, okay, I want that sentence, but that shit I do not know. So it was almost frustrating sometimes, like full days with Paul, freaking Zoom calling him and being like, okay, from 23 minutes and 42 seconds to 24 minutes and whatever, I want you to cut the and then I want you to bring that before that. Like that was a lot of work to like get the words perfectly and like, and I'd be like, Alicia was funny right there. You need to like go closer to her face. Like I see it in my brain, but I can't like create it, which is frustrating on my end. But Paul was like, what you did and the work you did like made him cut so much work and guessing how I like it.
Yeah.
And also I said to him, like, not that I'm not easy to work with, but I definitely like am like I want it to look this way. That's what I imagined.
You know exactly what you want. But you also tell people exactly what you want. So that doesn't make you hard to work with because you're just like people that are hard to work with, I think are people that know exactly what they want, but aren't good at communicating and articulating.
Exactly. And I think that we found people, even our designers. So obviously like all the like any graphics that are in the documentary are made by a graphic designer. And we have one on staff studio or on board at Your Weight Loss. And even with her, she's like, I love working with you because you're like, I don't like that. I want this, put that a little bit to the left. And like, then I do it again and I send it. You're like, perfect. Like she said, what I don't like is when I send something to someone and it takes 2 weeks for them to be like, I'm not sure why, but I don't really like it. And you're like, I can't, like, I don't know what else. Like I can try something else. She said within the same, and it's true, within the same conversation, we're going to like go back and forth and bam, like I'm good. Like I don't need to relook at it, but you need to find the right people because I can be harsh as well. I can be like, that's really bad. Like today when I was talking to Paul, I'm like, that is a bad song. Like I do not, he's like, what do you think of the song? I'm like, I actually wrote, I hate the song. Like I wrote those words. I wrote the word hate, Paul. And he laughs, you know? He's like, I
I
wasn't
know.
sure. And I said, you know what, Paul? You can't know what I'm gonna feel like. It's either I'm gonna really like it or not. He like tried this mushy, like at the end he wanted it to be mushy.
Okay.
And I'm like it was like such a fun documentary. Like I think uplifting,
Yeah.
not mushy. Let's not make
Okay.
people cry.
Okay.
Let's uplift them. And he was trying to be mushy with the kids section, and I'm like, the kids had nothing to do with this. We're not going to cry now because we see Dia and Piper on screen. Like, absolutely not. Like, this is a 30-second part where we were eating together the last day. I think that's fun. Like, that's a fun time, you know. And it was like this song where it like said like, I believe in you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So anyway, I have
Yes.
not
Okay.
seen it.
Yes.
So I have not seen it, okay?
Okay.
Um, Friday is gonna be my viewing. Like, I'm gonna go sit in your theater. Do you know how to do that?
I will be asking Jeffrey Cormier. Basically, Paul was like, how are you going to watch it with Alicia? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to put it on my theater. He's like, do you know how to plug in your computer? Absolutely not. But I know someone that does, and he lives in the same home. Yeah, no, we're going to definitely put it in. I cannot wait. Like tomorrow, I'm meeting with Paul and there's like another guy that came on board for coloring and sound and
Okay.
cleaning. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like Paul's like, that's not my jam. Like, so he's gonna color and make sure all the coloring's perfect. But he's like basically, and he had like a fresh look at the documentary. He
Okay.
also doesn't know who we are, which is
Okay.
perfect. Like it's good that like you can't be biased to like, I like these girls, so like they entertain me. Like, what if you don't know us? Like, do you find us entertaining? Are you interested in this? Are we keeping your attention if you're someone that does not know, you didn't sign up for this, you don't know us? And he was like, Paul said like that apparently like after the first couch scene, he was like, okay, like he stopped it and he contacted Paul and was like, who are these girls? Like what this is, I want to know more. Like I want to know more about what's going to happen. Cause Paul had just like, watch this, tell me what you think, you know? So it's fun to see like, and he's like a young man, you know, like, does he have anything related to what we're doing? But he said, even if it's like, there's conversation about weight loss, it's still very interesting, their approach to it. Like, so, and also like just the Tim Hortons scenes are hilarious.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it all. And today Jose was watching it before I arrived at our house to do something, and she's like, "Want to watch a little bit?" And it was so good, and we laughed, like I laughed, and like the editing of how Paul keeps it so engaging, where it's going from like us talking to like a scene, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so good! I can't wait to watch the whole thing. I told Jose today that I was like, I don't want to say nervous, but when I want something to be really good, I get like nervous, or
Yeah.
it's almost like I wanted to be like, just kidding, never mind, don't come watch us.
Now, Alicia, I think that for this piece, and I think for actually everything, you and I have that in common where I can trust your love. Like Your Way Weight Loss is your baby. I trust you with Your Way Weight Loss. Even if Your Way Weight Loss was created 5 years before you came, like you love it as much as I love it. You want to see what I want. You like, it's the same for us. So that's why I trust you fully with any decision related to how you're going to show up, what you're going to say, because I know that your intentions and your love for it is the same. Please know that I got this. Like what you want out of this documentary is exactly what I wanted. And that's why I put in so many hours to make sure I was like in it. Someone today sent me a message, was like, oh, I was wondering if you were just going to see it for the first time on documentary night. I'm like, never. Like, absolutely not. Like I had so much to do with what it was. Like and when I say it's that's we. Like we are one when it comes to this. Like, and we both couldn't put in that time at that moment. Who's going to be on Instagram if I'm editing? Like, who's going to be like, Your Weight Loss needs to continue. The documentary is it's a side thing. It's an add-on to all the projects that we're already doing. So Alicia needed to spend her hours doing what she does, which is being us on social media. And then I needed to be behind the scenes with this documentary. And you know what? It's the friggin' best surprise. I know it must have been hard for you. And I was like, thank you for trusting me, but I cannot wait for you to see it Friday. Like you're gonna be like, it's already over. Like, that's how I felt. But I could also listen to us like nonstop. So I don't know if everyone's going to feel that way. So
I
do you
don't
guys
know.
want?
Today I really shifted just to pure excitement and just I can't wait to sit in a theater. Like I got like kind of like thinking about with like literally our closest friends, our parents are coming, people that love us, our members and our followers who have supported us, like
Yeah.
who love us, and
Yeah.
they're going to get to watch that with us to like hear them in the room with us laughing. Like
I know.
I
I know
mean,
that's going to be a moment. It's absolutely going to be a moment for sure to be able to, because we understand that people that purchase, premier tickets are people. Like they're people that were invested in the project, that follow us, that like us, that support us. Ultimately, you're supporting us by wanting to be a part of the documentary premiere. Like a premiere
absolutely.
of a video or a movie is clearly the people that were most important in it, and it's just what it is. Like it's the core people of, when you go like with someone that like Spider-Man comes out and you're lining up outside, like I'll go see it week 3 type thing. Probably not, but you get what I mean? Like people would go see it week 3 and 4, like, I'll wait. Like I was a big Twilight fan. Did you know that?
I remember that
It
actually.
was next level. It was actually not healthy. But at the end of the day, we love your like thank you. Also what happened since the last time we spoke to them is the donut wall. Like we have so much to talk about. So this is a 30-minute podcast. I think we can stop at this one.
Okay.
We can continue. We're going to record again
Okay.
very soon. We'll talk about the donut wall. We'll talk about because when we record, no, you wouldn't have watched it, but I do want to talk about the feel of the documentary and also what they can expect out of like, I don't know, like the way it's been produced and the way it's been created. I think there's just a lot to talk about. So I think we can end tonight. It is like 9 p.m. You guys. It is 9 p.m. We did great. This
We
was
did great.
so fun. Oh, and by the time we talked to them, we would have maybe been like on TV. Kelly Clarkson show.
Because I'm sure that's how they roll. They like don't know who's going to be on their show tomorrow, so they're like
Right.
looking for guests right now.
Yeah, exactly. For next week, they're going to fly us and all of that.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly something that's coming after. Like it's going to be after. But think about this, you guys. If you are a part of the premiere, you will be the first people on the planet to watch this premiere and this documentary, and you'll be able to tell all of your friends how amazing it is. Other than that, I mean, go for it. Buy your ticket now if you haven't. And it is in 1 week. There are also spots still at the Capitol Theater where we will have a donut wall, a wall of donuts.
It's gonna be a whole vibe.
It is going to be a whole vibe. All right. Any last words?
Just thank you for your support during this entire project. It's nothing like we've ever done before, obviously, and it's been a huge undertaking. And just we appreciate all your support.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece, everyone. Okay, well, have a great evening, my friend. Have a great day for all of our listeners. Thank you for following us and liking our podcast. I wonder if we're at 500,000 followers. We must be close, not followers, but downloads. I'll check it out right after. We love you. We'd appreciate you. Go and buy your ticket now. Okay, bye. See you soon, now.
Bye.